The night began with a scream, not from a child, not from any living person, but from the tires of a Danfo bus skidding across the narrow road beside Ona Eco Path. People scattered as the bus nearly clipped a man crossing the street, and the sharp, echoing sound cut through the humid Lagos air like a blade. Zainab heard it from her balcony and rushed forward, her heart pounding. Down below, the night buzzed with generators coughing to life and neighbors' voices rising with alarm, but no one was hurt, just a moment of panic in a city already drowning in chaos. Still, something felt wrong. Her eyes drifted toward the abandoned railway. The thick shadows clinging to it seemed heavier than usual. As she watched, a faint whistle floated through the air, long, soft, almost playful. The sound made her skin prickle. She leaned against the railing and scanned the path, but the darkness swallowed everything. She shook it off. Lagos nights were full of strange sounds. Inside their small apartment, Tunde paced restlessly with a game controller in his hand. "Nipa has killed me today," he complained, staring at the dead TV screen. "If I lose this tournament because of light, I'll cry." "Then cry," Zainab replied, throwing a pillow at him. "You play that game too much." "I don't play too much," he shot back. "I play just enough to beat Samuel tomorrow." "You'll still lose." Lies. Their bickering was almost musical, two siblings dancing in the familiar rhythm of teasing and affection. But underneath Zainab's playful insults was genuine worry. Tunde was adventurous, too adventurous. Anytime he sensed excitement, he ran toward it instead of away. She always feared the day his curiosity would carry him too far. Their mother burst into the room, wearing her hospital uniform and tying her scarf. "I'll be back by morning. Lock the doors. No going out." "Zainab, watch him." She pointed at Tunde as if he were a bag of rice she didn't trust the market boys with. "I'm not a baby," Tunde muttered. "You're acting like one," Zainab added. Their mother sighed, kissed them both, grabbed her bag, and rushed out. The moment she left, the apartment seemed to release a long exhale, a quiet settling. Minutes later, the power went out. The entire building groaned in unison. Someone shouted from a nearby flat, "Ah, Nipa no get conscience." Another voice yelled, "Bring light Na." Tunde groaned dramatically. "This government is wicked. You think you're the only one in the dark?" Zainab teased, turning on her phone's flashlight. "Relax." But he didn't relax. He stared out the window, biting his lip, his foot tapping anxiously. He was restless in a way Zainab instantly recognized. "No," she said sharply. "I didn't even say anything. I can see it on your face. I just want to go to Samuel's house. His parents have generator. It's dark outside. It's just 2 streets away. And you think that makes it better? I'll be fast." "You're not going." Tunde clenched his fists, frustrated. The argument simmered, thick and heavy like humidity before rain. Zainab tried to distract him, but his eyes kept drifting toward the window, toward the shadows outside. Eventually, he muttered, "You're not my mother." The words landed like a slap. Zainab turned away, hurt, and that moment of silence, just a few seconds, was all Tunde needed. By the time she looked back, the front door was slightly open. "Tunde?" She stepped toward the door, calling again. "Tunde." No answer. She rushed down the stairs barefoot, her flashlight shaking in her hand. The yard was quiet except for a generator sputtering somewhere. The air felt colder than usual. The streetlights flickered weakly, fighting a losing battle against the shadows. Then she heard it again. That same soft whistle she'd heard earlier, drifting from the direction of the railway. Her stomach tightened. She rushed toward the sound, scanning every corner. "Tunde, you better answer me right now." A man sitting outside his shop looked up. "Ah, Zainab, you day find your brother?" I see 'em run past just now. Her heart sank. Which direction? The man pointed toward the railway. She sprinted. Gravel crunched under her feet as she reached the narrow path. Her flashlight beam bounced in front of her, catching broken bottles, scattered leaves, and a thin strip of dust that glowed pale under the light. That was when she saw it. Tunde's phone, lying face down on the ground. The screen was cracked. She bent, picked it up, and her hands shook. The dust beneath the phone showed the imprint of his hand, as if he'd fallen or dropped it in a hurry. Her breaths quickened. Tunde, her voice cracked. The whistle came again. Closer now. Longer. A tune she didn't recognize, yet it felt hauntingly familiar. Someone behind her murmured, "God forbid." She turned. Several neighbors had gathered, holding phones up as weak torches. Whispered conversations filled the air. "I saw the boy run," a woman said. "I saw someone behind him," another man added. "Maybe it's that thing again," someone whispered nervously. "What thing?" Zainab demanded. The group exchanged uneasy glances. No one wanted to say it first. Finally, the woman with Geel cleared her throat and whispered, "The Whistler." A few people crossed themselves or muttered, "Blood of Jesus." Zainab frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It's just story," the woman said quickly, though her eyes told a different truth. "A legend. An old one." "It's not a story," an elderly man corrected quietly. "Children go missing. That's not story." Fear rippled through the crowd. Tunde was out there, possibly with someone, or something they all feared but avoided naming. Zainab felt panic claw its way inside her chest. "Please," she begged. "Did anyone see where he went?" A mechanic stepped forward. "I saw small footprints enter the railway path. Then, bigger ones." "What do you mean bigger ones?" Zainab asked. The man's voice dropped. As if someone much taller was walking beside him. Zainab felt her heartbeat in her throat. "Why didn't you follow them?" The man looked ashamed. "Madam, nobody goes near that railway at night." "I will." Her voice was firm, unshakable. The group murmured warnings. Someone tried to grab her arm. Another begged her to wait for police. But Zainab was already moving, driven by fear, love, and a growing sense of dread. If she didn't follow him now, she might never see him again. As she stepped onto the railway path, the darkness thickened around her, almost as if the shadows were watching. The whistle sounded once more. Long, slow, inviting. She inhaled sharply and walked deeper into the waiting dark. Zainab moved cautiously, one foot sliding in front of the other as if the very ground might shift beneath her. The air along the railway was strangely still, as though the wind itself had decided not to follow her. Her flashlight flickered once, twice, and she slapped it lightly, whispering, "Abeg, not now." Her breath formed small clouds in the cool night, and every sound suddenly became louder, the crunch of gravel, the rustle of leaves, even her own heartbeat pounding in her ears. The railway stretched ahead, swallowed by tall trees and thick brush that cast long shadows. It looked nothing like the busy, noisy path she passed every morning on her way to school. Tonight, it felt like another world. She called again, softer this time. "Tunde, you hear me? Please answer." No response. Just the faint echo of her voice carried into the darkness. Then she heard movement. A quick scuffle, like someone or something shifting behind the bushes. She pointed her flashlight in that direction, the beam shaking as her hands trembled. "Who's there?" Silence. Her pulse quickened. She stepped backward, but her foot hit a rock, and she stumbled slightly. Then another sound came, footsteps. But not the hurried, familiar gait of a stubborn teenage boy sneaking off. These steps were deliberate. Calm. Almost measured. Zainab swallowed hard. "Tunde, If this is your stupid prank, I swear. The footsteps stopped. A voice floated through the darkness. A man's voice. Deep. Smooth. Too calm. You shouldn't be here, Zainab. Her blood ran cold. Who are you? No answer. Her flashlight dimmed again, and this time, when she hit it, it didn't recover. The light grew weaker, casting only a faint halo barely strong enough to see her own feet. She forced her voice to stay steady. Where is my brother? A quiet laugh drifted out, gentle but chilling, like someone amused by a child's question. You're brave to come alone, the voice said. Most people never try. Fear tightened around her like a fist. She turned slowly, trying to locate where the voice was coming from, but it seemed to bounce from tree to tree, surrounding her. She raised her chin. I'm not leaving without him. The voice exhaled, as though pleased. Then follow the tracks. He went forward. Her throat tightened. Why? A pause. Because he heard my whistle. Zainab's breath caught. You're the whistler? Silence. Then, finally, yes. Her knees weakened. Every childhood story, every whispered warning she'd shrugged off as superstition rushed back to her. But she forced herself not to back away. She forced her voice not to shake. Where is he? You'll see him soon enough, the whistler murmured. Go on. Zainab's heart hammered painfully, but she stepped forward, her legs trembling, her mind screaming at her to run. Her breath came shallow and fast. She could feel the presence behind her watching, waiting, but she didn't dare turn around again. She walked. And walked. And walked. The darkness thickened the deeper she went. The path narrowed, flanked by tall grass that brushed her legs. Trees leaned inward as if trying to swallow the tracks entirely. The air felt colder, heavier, and every instinct she had screamed turned back. But then she saw something ahead. A faint light. It flickered like a candle flame caught between life and death. Her heart leapt. She broke into a shaky jog, the small glow pulling her like a magnet, hope overpowering fear until she was close enough to see what it was. Not a lamp. Not a candle. A phone screen. Tunde's. Her heart sank as she approached it. The screen was cracked, its dim light flickering on and off. She picked it up with trembling fingers. The wallpaper was still the same funny picture of him making a ridiculous face. A tear slipped down her cheek. Tunde, where did you go? She whispered. Then she noticed something else. Footprints. Clear ones. Small ones. Tunde's size. They trailed forward, deeper into the darkness. But beside them, another set. Longer. Wider. Much deeper in the dirt, like whoever made them was heavier, far heavier than any normal person. Her breath hitched. She knelt, touching the prints lightly. They were fresh. Still sharp. Tunde, she whispered again, her voice breaking. A soft rustle came from the trees nearby, too close. She stood quickly, shining the weak flashlight toward the sound. Nothing. Then a whisper brushed her left ear. Keep going. She jumped back with a gasp, spinning around, but the darkness stared back silently. Her legs shook uncontrollably. She stumbled forward again, gripping the phone tightly. Behind her, a low whistle floated through the air. Too close. Too calm. She ran. Branches slapped her arms, stones scraped her feet, and her breath tore out of her in ragged gasps. The railway blurred beneath her as she sprinted blindly, chasing the small footprints like they were her lifeline. Finally, the trees cleared into a small open space, an old railway clearing long abandoned by the city. The moonlight, thin and ghostly, gently illuminated the area. Her heart lurched. There, by the edge of the clearing, sitting on a broken concrete block. Tunde. Her baby brother. His back faced her, his shoulders hunched as though he were listening intently to something. His legs dangled off the block, swinging slowly. Tunde! Zainab cried, rushing toward him. He didn't move. Tunde, answer me now. No reaction. She reached him and grabbed his shoulders, spinning him around, then gasped. His pupils were dilated. His expression was blank, empty, distant. It was like he wasn't fully present in his own body. Tunde, hey, look at me. No answer. He blinked slowly, as if waking from a trance. Zainab, he whispered. She let out a shaky sob of relief and pulled him into a tight hug. Oh my God, Tunde. Why did you leave the house? He clung to her weakly, shivering. I heard it. Heard what? The whistle. Her stomach dropped. She pulled back and held his face in her hands. Tunde, listen. Listen carefully. We have to go now, okay? We're leaving. Don't look back. Don't listen to anything. Just hold my hand. His lips trembled. He nodded. She grabbed his hand tightly and stepped back onto the tracks. But before they could take a second step, the whistle sounded again. This time louder. Closer. And suddenly, Tunde jerked forward violently, like something had hooked him from inside. He screamed, clutching his head. Stop it. Zainab cried, wrapping both arms around him. He shook uncontrollably. He's calling me. Don't listen. I can't. Zainab, I can't. A shadow slid across the clearing. Long, tall. Inhumanly tall. Zainab froze, her breath stopping mid-air. The shape stood at the edge of the trees, its outline impossibly slim and elongated, as though carved from the night itself. Then it stepped forward. The darkness moved with it. Her flashlight flickered once, then died completely. Zainab's heart thundered. Tunde screamed again. And the whistler's voice drifted toward them. Soft. Patient. You can't take him. He came to me. Zainab positioned herself in front of her brother, her hands shaking uncontrollably but refusing to let go of him. You're not touching him, she breathed. A low, almost amused hum rolled through the clearing. Brave girl. The air around them shifted. Shadows stretched. The trees leaned in. The world narrowed until all that existed was the tall, unnatural shape standing just a few meters away. Then a sound tore through the night. Not a whisper. Not a whistle. A scream. A human scream. Hey. Who dey there? Zainab's heart jumped. Voices. Flashlights. People. Neighbors burst into the clearing, 5, then 7, then more, shouting, brandishing sticks, machetes, anything they could grab. The tall figure froze. Lights hit it from different angles. It hissed. Actually hissed. Then it vanished. The shadows swallowed it like it was never there. Zainab fell to her knees, sobbing as neighbors rushed toward her and Tunde. Hands lifted them, supported them, voices swirled around them in a chaotic storm of fear, anger, and relief. N.A. the whistler, God forbid. Carry the children. Carry them. Through it all, Zainab clung to her brother like her life depended on it. Because it did. They carried the siblings back toward the street, away from the railway path, away from the darkness that almost claimed them. But as they walked, Zainab heard it again. Faint. Distant. A whisper carried by the wind. This isn't over. She stiffened, pulling Tunde closer. She didn't look back. And that was the night Zainab realized some shadows in Lagos don't hide from the light, they wait for it to fade. But the whistler? He isn't done. If you want to know what happens next, how far the whistler will go, and what Zainab must face to protect her brother, stay tuned for part 2. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next chapter drops soon, and trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next.